In this video, I will show you how to do a mesh network using your EWS 357 APs. In this demonstration, we're going to be using two of them. To start off, we need to go to Network and then press Wireless. The settings that you do here are very important since we have to match the channel width, the channel, and the transmit power that we're going to be using to connect to the second device. On your second device, you have to put the same frequency that you set on your first device. Okay, other thing that we want to advise is to disable green mode. In this case, the 5 gigahertz, we're going to use it for the WDS link, or how we call it, the mesh network. The 2.4 will be the one that's going to be used as an AP to broadcast the SSID. Okay, we're going to start off with the channel width. We're going to leave it on 2080. We're going to go to channel. Please press the tab that says all. This will uncheck every single frequency, and then you're able to choose the one that adapts better to your deployment. In this scenario, we're going to use channel 1, and for the backhaul, we're going to use channel 149. Remember, this channel on the 5 gigahertz, it has to be the same on the second and on the third node. Once you have chosen, press save. Okay, we're going to go down. Now we're going to set up the SSID for your 2.4. We're going to click edit. First thing, we need to uncheck the 5 gigahertz so we can have it nice and clean for the mesh connection. Here we're going to use EWS 357 mesh test. And then we're going to put a 1 for the first device. The security, we're going to use WPA2 personal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will be our paraphrase. Click save. Okay, now that we have done that, we're going to press apply to save the changes. Please be patient until this configuration applies your changes. Okay, once it's done booting, we go to the Mesh tab. Click on Settings. By default, the mesh is disabled. We gotta press Enable. And the first AP that's connected to your switch and then goes to the router and then to your modem, we're gonna call it the Mesh app. The Mesh AP. Okay, we're going to choose the 5 gigahertz for the connection. The mesh ID is the one that's going to be like an identifier for your mesh point. The default is 1 through 8. For this purposes, we're just going to leave it as it is. Password can be also customized, but for this demonstration, we're going to leave it on default. Click Save. It's going to tell you to please check the channel settings in the wireless setting page. Since we already set up that, we can go ahead and press OK. Click apply. Once the changes have been applied, it will bring you back to the main page. Now we're going to go and log into your second device, and we're going to merge it. We're going to connect it to the mesh node. Remember to go to Network and Wireless. We're going to disable green mode. We're going to leave the channel width 2080. We're going to go to channel. We're going to deselect all of these. And since we chose channel 1 for the node, we're going to change a different channel so they don't overlap. We're going to choose channel 11. For the 5 gigahertz, since it's our backhaul, we have to choose the same frequency we chose on the first one, which was 149. Now click Save. Okay, we'll leave everything in default. Scroll down, and we're going to do some changes on the wireless settings. Click on the Edit button. Uncheck the 5 gigahertz. And here we can call it something different, like bedroom. If you want the seamless roaming feature, it will have to be called the same as your first device. It will have to be called this on your device. So we're gonna go to see what we called it. I'm gonna copy and paste it. And then we're going to call this number 2. Or actually number 1. And we're going to put the same passphrase so it will continue to do seamless roaming. Click Save. Okay. We have done the configuration. Now we're going to save and apply. Please be patient. Okay, once our wireless settings have been saved, now we can go to the mesh, and it's time to mesh it with the first device. Click Enable. This scenario will be the mesh point. This is our second unit. We're going to use the 5 gigahertz for the mesh band. And the mesh ID, since we used the one by default, Like I said, if you change the mesh ID differently on your first device, here's where you put the same mesh ID that from the first device. Here's where you're going to put it on the second, and then the password also as well. If you change from the default to a different one, that password that you chose is the one that you have to input here on the second device. Once it's complete, press save. You will receive the same notification for the channel settings and click apply. Once the settings have been applied, you should be able to see your mesh network. Okay, once it has finally booted, go to the first device. Under the mesh tab, press status. As you can see, you have the EWS 357 connected under your mesh network. If you go to the second device and you click status, you will see that this EWS has been successfully meshed. We had an EAP 1300 with the same credentials, and as you can see, it automatically synced up to the device. You can go to Tools, and you can see what devices are in your mesh and what kind of signal strength you have. We can also check the link status between these. As you can see, this EAP 1300 XT is a little far, so we need to bring it a little closer. We can also do some pingings. We can choose from the list here. Number of pings, choose 16, and we're going to start. 10 is the maximum we can do. So we're gonna go ahead and collect it. There you go. Here's the ping. We have 10 packets transmitted, 10 received, 0 loss. That means that you have a very good mesh network. We can also do a throughput test. And you have 929 megabits per second. Well, thank you for watching this tutorial on how to do a mesh network using your EWS 357 AP.